Oh, dear. I'm Karl Harrison, and thanks for tuning in. The audience is growing, and I'm really chuffed. I didn't think it would be as good as it has been. So let's just talk about the Association of Professional Landscapers and why it's important to get somebody to do the job right first time. Follow me. These brick walls here that have been rendered subject to lots of damage, and they're just simply falling apart because there's no damp and there's no water management. For example, there's a planter here, the water's just seeping through the walls and causing all this discoloration. The problem is we've got a north-facing garden, so we're not going to be able to change the way the sun hits the garden. However, we can ameliorate this problem by creating drainage holes, retreating with proper sealant, and then of course we're going to clad it in cedar and ipe. That's right folks, ipe. It's a Brazilian hardwood and it's considered old school. I don't really like using ipe. It's not really sustainable. However, I've managed to source some FSC certified ipe for this particular project, and we only need a very small amount, so I think we're going to be okay. The emphasis on this project is the client is having a great big swimming pool cover to keep it heated all year round to maximise the use of this beautiful space. That means we've got to have some concessions in the immediate landscape, and to do that we've got to change various elevations and move things. For example, the step, there's not enough room when you get to the top of the step, so we're going to have to change the profile of the steps. Not quite sure what's underneath, but it's moving a bit. The paving's cracking, there's some splits in the wall, there's water coming through. It's a bit of a horror story. So again, we've got to take off all the plaster, we've got to tank it, seal it. So there are lots of different areas in this project, this ramp just being one of them. If we just have a quick look here, we can see we've got some clear western red cedar. This is actually quite high quality. It's called number 2 clear and better, and normally source this from country suppliers. The same with the ipe. We only use FSC certified ipe. It's quite an endangered species. However, because that's what this project used, we're going to use it again to do the repair work. The emphasis on this project is repair, make good, and a whole load of cleaning. Look at the paving. Crikey. Lots of classic black spot caused by liching. That's all going to get cleaned. The ipe decking, we're going to make this look brand new, but we're going to actually stain it with a water-based stain, and that's going to be grey. It's going to go grey eventually, so we may as well make it go grey today. Same for the pool cabin, the doors, the balustrade, the whole thing is going to go grey. And so, hang on a minute, this is a bit rubbish. Look at this. We didn't notice this before. Crikey. Oh dear, I'll get a screwdriver, we'll get these boards up and then we'll have a look underneath. We've taken this deck board up, and some of the joists, they don't look too bad. This one, ew, look at that. That's supposed to be a solid piece of wood. This joist is completely rotten. We've got flecks in some of the boards, just because this is the hardest wood in the world. Well, one of the hardest woods in the world. If you're going to lay it over substandard joists, then you're going to end up opening a can of worms long term. So this has only taken a few years for it to get like this, and this is completely rotten and needs totally replacing. This is an impromptu what not to do with your decking, and this is why your deck should be correctly designed. If you look, some of the boards are 6mm gaps, some of them are very, very close, 4mm going down to 2mm, and all this debris gets stuck and it stops the airflow. And if you've got no airflow, when your wood gets wet underneath, it's going to stay wet, and if it stays wet, it's going to go rotten. Don't care what treatment you've got. So what you've got is some of the most expensive hardwood timber you can get laid over rubbish. If this had been correctly designed by a decking pro, we wouldn't be here now. Probably just about to tell the client that I've got to rip out all of this deck and replace all of the structure to then put it back. The good news is I can recycle this deck, because this will last for about 60 years. Another case of poor planting choice and a poor wall construction, or a combination of both. I'm not sure who's to blame really. This beautiful Paulonia, gorgeous tree right next to a wall, and it's just simply pushed the wall out. That's going to come out and we're extending the paving. It's so sad to see such a beautiful design so poorly executed. That's why you should always look for somebody who's a member of the Association of Professional Landscapers. Give Phil Tremaine a call. What should have been a beautiful lighting display, there's no covering for these light bulbs, so obviously, you know, you can imagine a red hot light bulb and it rains, it's going to cause the glass to crack. The issue that you've got is poor lighting design, poor installation. Next time you tune in folks, this is going to be beautifully clean. It may have been grey, but you won't find out till you tune in next time. I'm Karl Harrison, see you later.